Girl, you the damn, and she love me when I'm in it, and she never be pretending. Nothing is real. She gon' tell you what she bought it, cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get it, looking exquisite, no competition. Stay on a pivot, who be watching, they be plotting. She so motherfucking independent. Mama be big, got on her grind. She had to get out her mama house. Daddy be tripping, now she be whipping. Ain't no more no granny couch. Fashion over, got that ass looking different. Make me wanna put her all in my mentions. Feeling like she was sent from above. Got me asking the Lord for forgiveness. Walking with confidence, look at her ambience. The reason these hoes be
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yay! We have a touchdown!
I can hear you now. I don't know. It just popped on all of a sudden.
Oh, I was like, this is a new one because you kept disappearing too. So whatever you did is magic, and I'll need to know how you did that just in case it comes up again.
I didn't do nothing. I think you did it. You had to.
I have the Midas touch.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, whoa, then all of a sudden I just heard you.
Oh, but that hat, dude, you're going to have to change your wardrobe now that I can see that it says Raptors. Did you not watch yesterday's show? This is Lakers country over here. Lakers are
no, I'm a Laker fan. I had this in my store, so I try to wear clothes out of my store to let people see I got different apparel. So this have nothing to do with I don't like the Raptors. I'm a Laker fan, so I just did it just because.
Okay, you're always forgiven. So let's start from the beginning, just in case there's people out here who don't know your story and how you got started in football. And I don't know if you heard earlier, my co-host is having, she wasn't able to, she's got family stuff going on right now, so she's not here today. So it's just me and you. You're in the hot seat all by yourself with no one to help you. Just kidding. No, but seriously. So how did you get started in sports? And so you're from Alabama, and that's like football country. But
oh yeah,
you didn't go to college there.
No, I didn't go to the University of Alabama. I chose to go a different route. I got recruited by those guys, and at the time, it wasn't that good. You know, they didn't have Nick Saban as their head coach. I'm kind of a little older, so they didn't have Nick Saban as their head coach. So I chose to go to the University of South Carolina. But how I got started in football, it started when I was very young. I was 3 and 4 years old. I started playing tackle football at 4 years old, and everybody was like, "What?" You know, the kids can't do that these days and age.
No, it's flag only.
But in Alabama,
third grade almost maybe.
But in Alabama, we allow that to happen. And I have a son who stays in Alabama, and he started at the age of 4, and they play tackle football. It was kind of scared me a little bit because.
Why? I blame you, Sean, for saying great comeback because you know it's like everything works and then it doesn't. Man. So I'm just curious how many people out there have ever heard of 4-year-olds playing tackle football. Maybe it's something I hadn't heard before. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can still hear you.
Okay, because my phone just went out all of a sudden. But no, we.
You must have Verizon. Just kidding.
I do. Oh,
look, I was thinking Verizon always works, so I was saying that as a joke because it wouldn't be Verizon.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I know, but I do have Verizon. But yeah, at 4 years old, I started playing, and I always had the dream of being an NFL football player. You know, you have those teachers when you're growing up, and they ask you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I always said NFL football player, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to have a plan B." You know, some teachers laughed at me. Some people was like, "Oh no, you know, he's too small," or you know, that's not going to work. But I always had that dream, and I was one of those guys that dreamed that came true. And you know, I always thought, thank God for that, because I always wanted to be an NFL football player.
Yes.
Like since day one, it's like NFL. I want to be an NFL football player. I never said basketball, baseball. I always said NFL. And my dream came true. So
growing up, who was your NFL hero? Who did you idolize, or what made you interested in becoming a football player? Like, I mean, even at 4, I feel like there's someone that, or a game or something that might have sparked your interest in it.
Back then it was Deion Sanders and it was Brett Favre. I was a big Brett Favre fan. Growing up being from Alabama, and he went to the University of Southern Miss. So I was a big Brett Favre fan, and Deion Sanders as I got older. But what really made me really just want to pursue football so hard, my goddaddy, he took me to a Florida State Georgia Tech. That was my first college big game, and I was in
Mhm.
like the sixth grade. And I always wanted to go to Florida State because Peter Ward growing up, you had guys like that who was very good, and Charlie Ward and all those guys back in the day. So um, he took me to that game, and it just opened my eyes. And I told him that day, I said, I was in sixth grade. I said, I'll be playing at this level one day,
Mm.
and that's what I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
I came in and I worked hard. I got my grades. There's one thing I had to do. Growing up, everybody thought just playing football. I had the thing. Sports was going to take me a long way. I knew that, but at the same time, I had to get my education, and that's something
Absolutely.
I try to preach to these kids. I played around my ninth and 10th grade year because I thought because I was a star in football that everybody was just going to pass me, and it didn't work like that. I had this college recruiter come in. His name
Oh
was
wait,
Pat.
you didn't go to UNC. Inside joke. No, come on now.
I
I
had
always
this
have to get. I always have to get my Carolina fan friends. Sorry.
So I had this college coach come in and tell me
Yeah.
that if I didn't pick up my grades, that I was going to be stuck in Mobile, Alabama. And I was sitting there like, oh no, I don't want to be stuck in Mobile, Alabama.
Mhm.
I got bigger dreams to be in the NFL. And so I picked up my grades and I turned myself around, and look at me now.
That's such a great story to hear. Just for so many athletes out there or student athletes that might sometimes feel that same way that I can just call it in and things will just go my way. But
Nah,
somebody really cared enough that they really wanted you to have an education as well and not just a winning football team.
yes,
And there's been so many different changes with NCAA rules, with football players and their images being used and so on. And that's something I feel like as a model and actress is something I always felt like, wait, the school can use their image, their number, their this, their that, their that, their that, and they can't make any money off of that. The entire
zero
time they're
dollars.
there. Like, how did that feel when you were playing it? And then to hear now that they're kind of changing those rules around a little bit.
Well, I knew without me being, good in football and having the grades to get into college, that my mom couldn't pay for school,
Mhm.
and then there was the out of state fees. Me coming from
Again, always at the good parts. Well, that's all right. He'll be back. I have faith in this. And while we're having our brief commercial break, might as well say hello to a few of our friends in the chat room. So if you want to get your name shouted out, chat, say a word, say hello. And he's back. Sorry, I'll be back, you guys. Commercial break's over.
I don't know what's going on.
Like that's that Raptors hat. The Lakers are
I
coming to
know,
get
right?
you. The
I
ghost
know.
of the Lakers.
It keep going off on me. I don't know why it keep going off.
That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know either. But we're
But
gonna get through the story, and we're gonna
yeah,
get to your story
yeah,
immediately. So in case it happens again,
yeah.
but
So
yeah, NCAA.
yeah, so I knew my mom couldn't afford me to go to school.
Right.
Just being
Most
real.
athletes, that's the
Yeah.
case. Yeah.
So, with those guys, probably getting paid for their likeness and all that, it's cool. But I looked at my college bill before and seen it. They paid a whole lot of money for me to go to the University of South Carolina. So I don't want to say that was enough, but I just know for a fact that my mom couldn't have paid that.
Right.
So, with
Right.
these people saying,
Wait, who is the cutie that just made a cameo?
that's my son, Champ.
Oh, I love his name. Hi, Champ.
Say
Oh, and
hey.
he's got on Duke Blue. Such a smart kid.
Okay, we're finna get you some food, okay?
Okay, we're gonna hurry through this. Look, we'll make it 12 minutes. I promise, Champ. Give me 12 minutes. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So,
but I knew my mom couldn't pay for it. So and like I said, I seen the bill and it was like, whoa. I
mhm.
know these kids want to get paid for it, and stuff like that. But if you look at some of those college bills and some of those schools that those kids go to, it's a lot of money. So
That's true.
I don't, but don't get me
That's a very
wrong.
good point.
I'm with for the kids. I'm with for the kids getting paid for their likeness and stuff like that. I was number one in college, so everybody used to have my jersey on in the stadium. So yeah, I'm just being real. So
So, how big is your ego when you're number one? Like, what does that feel like being number
yeah.
one?
No, and then the thing about it, I
Yeah.
was number one since my freshman year. Like I never had another number. So I came in as a freshman, true freshman, was number one all the way through till I left. And my ego was pretty big back then.
Yeah. So what was it like when you left number one the whole 4 years and now All right, so shouting out my good friends in the comment section. Gary and Larry Lane, the twins, you got to check. They were my guest a few. Oh, sorry, I'll be back. This is actually kind of fun because it's just so comical that it keeps happening.
I don't know why it keep happening.
My 11 more minutes. We didn't even. I'm on a computer.
It's your laptop.
And it's plugged into the Ethernet. It could be the app, and I think they did a lot of new updates with Facebook, so they might not be talking.
That's
perfectly.
That's what's happening. Every time I click off, it's telling me to join something on Facebook.
Yeah, you're supposed to say yes.
I did. I clicked yes.
Oh yeah. See, maybe Google. If it kicks you out again, click into Google because you can sign into either one.
Okay.
All right. We'll see. I don't learn. I just play a tech goddess on TV. I don't really know. But anyway, so you feel okay with them being, with them getting paid for their likeness and so on now? Because I get what you're saying as far as like they're paying a lot for your tuition that you wouldn't be able to pay any other way. But at the same time, they're making bank off of jerseys, clothing, apparel, as well as ticket sales, concessions. And I don't know, and you can share this with me, but when you're an athlete, a college athlete. I only played up to high school and I was only a soccer player, so don't judge me. But needless to say, it's a lot of time commitment too. You're not necessarily in class enough times to maybe really fully grasp the education that you are supposed to be there for as well. Like as far as majors, sometimes I don't know. I'm asking.
No, that's not true.
Some of my athlete friends aren't always showing up.
But at my school, at the University of South Carolina, at the real Carolina.
Not the University of Spoiled Children where you just scan your pictures in.
But at South Carolina, we had class checkers and we had to go. Okay. We had to go to class. And I tried to sneak out a couple times. I'm like, I can't lie. And they caught me. And it was like, oh no, go back in. So we had to go to class and we had to do what was right. If you didn't, you wouldn't play. That's how Coach Steve Spurrier did it. If you didn't go to class and wasn't in there, you couldn't play. So it was kind of different.
Yeah. Okay. Real brief, last NFL question, just so we can get to your fashion and your store before it tries to kick. Maybe I just want to ask another football question. Maybe we'll just go straight to the store because I think the internet knows. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to football. I mean, I do, but I don't. I watch it, but I watch like the Super Bowls. I watch every once in a while. And I used to be a huge Steelers fan because my high school coach, well, he was my coach too, but my high school history teacher, his father owned the Steelers, Dan Rooney, and he would give us like free stuff all the time. And he was one of those teachers that really inspired me a lot and was just took the time to really, as a teacher, show interest in things I was interested in and try to encourage me for different colleges and so on. And he's back. Last NFL question. So the season's getting ready to start, and I know you're a free agent. Is there any words since you're in Charlotte now? Has there been any new words or anything you can give an eSpot exclusive?
Well, this team that I've been talking to is, and I think it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. They just changed their football team name, so I tell you that. That's all I got.
Knew it. Okay, okay. Here's the thing. I was okay. So the person that introduced this, I was like, I wonder if he would be more devoted to the team or to his previous coach at the certain team. And those of you who really know football will know who I'm talking about. That's exciting. Do you have any name prediction? Oh, they'll give it away. I was going to say, well, I already gave it away. But do you have any predictions for the new name for the Deadskins? I mean, for the gosh, what's their name again? The Washington football
team. I don't know. No, I don't.
No, anything would like I've heard the Nationals or not the Patriots. That's already taken. The Nationals. I forget what I heard that I actually liked, but how do you we're gonna go to fashion because I'm too scared that you're gonna get clocked off and we got 6 minutes and your baby's hungry and I know what that's like as a mom. So tell us about your store. What made you make that transition to become a store owner, a retail owner, especially men's fashion with the Raptors hat on?
Oh man, I always pride myself in dressing. I always been a guy who felt like I can dress since I was a little kid. So I had a friend come to me. He's like, "Man, you got all these clothes, all these shoes. Like, bro, like you might well just get you a store." And I'm sitting there like, "Man, like, no." At first, I wasn't against. I was like, "Nah, I like to style myself."
Well, let me see if we can pull up his Instagram for his store real quick. And I can, if he clocks out again, I can show you guys images of it as well. But shout out to everybody in the comments. Oh, here we go. LOL Verizon. Shouldn't make fun of them because one day they might want to sponsor me. Hi. He's back. Okay, so the store.
Yeah, I always pride myself in dressing. So, and I always told guys like, "Yeah, man, I feel like I was always the best dressed and this and that." So, I had a friend who told me, "Man, you might well just get a store." And I'm sitting there like, I don't know if I want to get a store, and stuff like that. But I ended up going to a convention, a clothing convention, and I kind of fell in love with it. I was like, "Oh man, this is pretty cool." You get to see the material, you get to see, how much t-shirts and stuff really cost and things like that. And I'm looking at my closet like, man, I got this Louis Vuitton shirt over here that I paid X amount of dollars for, and they only probably paid $12 for it, and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I paid this amount for it, and I'm like, man. It was just crazy. And then
Yeah.
like I said, I pride myself on dressing too. So even though I got the Raptors hat on and the Raptors shorts and stuff like that, that's how I really got into it, and I fell in love with it, and I love it. I kind of love it.
So when did you actually open the store? What was the actual dates? Or have you already had your big grand opening? Or
Yes,
okay.
it's
Oh,
been.
that's right. We talked on your big
Yeah,
grand opening day. How
yeah.
did that go?
It went well. It went
Yeah.
well. And it actually been a year. It's been a year now.
Okay.
So like a couple of days ago, made a year, and we doing pretty well. Even with COVID going on and stuff like that, we still doing pretty well. And and then with me being the person that I am and knowing a lot of NFL players and a lot of guys, they come shop with me and they show me love. So that's a key too. So me being a people person and me
You kind
not.
of walked into this one because you brought up that some of your former players like to come dress there. So I'm assuming not a certain quarterback.
No,
But no.
I don't dress him. I can't get nothing out of my store. He got his own style, his own. That's him. He always been like that. But I can tell you why he do that though, and I know why. And he
I
said,
can't even follow him because the way he writes is so confusing. I'm
"Hey,
dyslexic, so all
but
those letters, I'm like, I can't.
but he
Yeah,
get paid. He get paid for that though.
it
That's his
works.
app.
It
That's his
works.
app.
My
So he
mom
get
did a
paid for it.
commercial with him. She loves him.
Yeah,
I have
he's a
nothing against
great.
him.
No, he's a
Yeah.
great dude. Like a great
Hmm.
dude. And we always talked about him in the locker room. Like, man, why you wear this? Why you wear that?
Yeah.
And he said,
What does he say? Be Live is going to make my blood pressure go up, and I'm going to have to take medication, and that's like a COVID problem. Oh, here he's back. Okay, so
and he just told us like what we doing now. He's like, what you doing now? And I was like, what you mean? We was talking about it. He said, so it make my name still be out there. It make people talk about him. And that's his swag, and he can get away with it. He's
the
6'6".
scarves and
Yeah,
every
hey, he can do
I
it. I
remember
can't
getting
do it.
picked on for wearing outfits like his when my pants were too short, and I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna think they're capris because I had
Yeah,
growth for it.
yeah,
He
yeah,
can get, yeah, you can get away with it. He's big
yeah.
enough to man up afterwards. So, tell us about your store, like virtually wise. Is everything online as well? Can people shop there? Like, how can they be as cool as you and your shopping buddies?
Yeah, they can shop online. We actually the website actually is down right now, but we actually getting it back up.
Okay.
So it should be up in the next week or so. But they definitely can see the Instagram page at 128 Park Ave. So they can follow that and see the new merchandise on there. But we definitely finna get the website going, and we like we said, I got a great team, and we working, and they getting it going, and we ready to roll.
No, that's great. Now, I noticed on your page something about V. Films. Can you share anything about that?
Oh yeah, that's my workout guy. That's my film guy. He always filming me. We have this certain day he film me on Wednesday. I like getting filmed on Wednesday, so when I go get my hair cut and stuff, I can look good for the cameras. But
I love it. Amanda is not scared to embrace the fact that women like men that are nicely dressed. Like
yeah,
I'm so over these badly dressed. I mean, I'm married, so it doesn't matter. But just I feel bad for my daughter. I'm like, I hope they dress better by the time you're dating, because mommy's not going to approve of anybody, especially they come in with some flip flops and so on. So
yeah. So that's what
yeah.
that's all about, though. That's just the film guy, and he helped me get my name out there even more. And everybody wanted to see my workouts and things like that. So
Yeah. I was going to ask if there's any plans for doing that as a videotapes. Like Cindy Crawford had her videotapes. He's back. That's
I
going to be
think
one heck of a podcast.
I think it's the app, though.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But I have a real quick question for you. Last, I promise, because it's 6:30 already. But any plans of maybe making that a permanent thing that you make as far as selling videos or DVDs of your workouts? Because I remember back in the day, I used to do Cindy Crawford's DVD because I'm a model.
Yeah.
I want to do a model's workout.
Yeah, somebody actually said that to me before. They was like, you should. That's what made me start getting the film guy and filming my workout. I was a guy who never really post, never really did. And I was just like, I'm just on there just to be nosy and stuff like everybody else. So I never really post, but people was like, man, you need to start, showing people that you're working, that you're doing this, and that what made me really start doing it. And that actually is a great idea that you came up with. Maybe one day.
I'll just get a little producer credit. That's all I ask, because
for sure.
I'm coming up with these amazing ideas. But just that so many people are home, and I even asked yesterday. I had a Lakers player on, Josh Powell, and I was even asking him, like, how can kids who are home, who still want to become athletes, who maybe aren't able to go back to school yet, or at least can't play sports yet, what different workouts he would suggest, how they could stay busy at home, or different things. So that's why I was like, ooh, video. When I saw that, I wanted to make sure I brought it up, because there's people who need it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Once you get back going up to DC area, you're not going to be able to do it for us live as much.
Nah, won't be able to.
Because the Patriots love watching people's videos.
I'm gonna make sure I send Cam that text and told him you said that.
No, I can't back it up. He's too big. I'm only 5'7". Oh wait, I shrunk. 5'6" and 3/4. All right. Well, thank you again so much, Captain. I definitely put 128 Park Avenue in the chat so people can see it and check it out. And a lot of people are in the comments just saying congratulations, and really looking out for you and excited to see you on football Sunday, Monday night. See, my husband does these like football polls with his friends every once in a while, or fantasy football. Oh yeah. And so I guess I now have a number one player that they may not know about yet or haven't picked up. So there's a chance still.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have a great weekend. And since I don't want to get into the social justice stuff, because your phone will probably die anyway, and you got to feed your kid. I feel like that was, what's the NFL owner's name? Not the owner, the champ, Gardell. I can't think of his name right. He might be messing with my internet to make sure I don't ask any social justice questions. And I don't want to mess up your signing. So next season.
All right.
Or when you're on the verge of retiring, because you got time. So when you're ready to retire, come back and talk to me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. I'll have to come down and hang out in Charlotte and check out your store.
All right.
All right. Sorry, champ. I'm done. I promise. Bye. Oh, you're so cute. All right. You guys have a great weekend.
All right.
Thanks again for stopping by. It was my pleasure.
All right.
We made it. Oh my gosh. Every 5 minutes. I don't even know what the timetable was that it kept clocking out on him, but I want to make sure I do at least acknowledge all the comments or different things that were said over here. I just didn't want to do it while there's a possibility he would check out while I was reading it. So I loved what Nicole wrote about, if that occurs, college athletes need to be educated on contracts, so they are not taken advantage of by agents or industry. And that's a very valid point, that should be part of the education system when you're benefiting off of the business of them. Why not teach them negotiation, contracts, different things, even media training? Because I noticed there was a big difference when, like, from different schools, almost even you could hear the difference in the quality of the amount of education maybe those athletes had, just because of the way they presented themselves, the way they communicated with the journalists and so on. And it's a dying art that I hope with all this time, everybody, it's a great thing for them to maybe realize they need to add that in too, because it's kind of taking advantage of them otherwise. There was a school in Pasadena, art design, that I went and toured at, and they have an amazing program there for that school. You pay a lot to go there, but they have a lot of great minority scholarships if you're interested in art design or special effects, movies or anything of that effect design. And that's part of their curriculum. Like, they'll help you even once you've graduated. If you get your first contract, third contract, whatever, you can always go back and get their expertise, help, and they'll reach out to former alumni if they need to get advice or help. And it's just, why not help the same athletes that work for you and played for you, because they're going to be the ones that might send back money, or their children and so on as well, to help build that program up. So yeah, we had a lot of problems today. I just noticed my good old mom said she's just finding me. It was all the technical glitches. Everything was going wrong, but that's all right. We made it 30 minutes. Captain was amazing. I hope you guys go check out his store and his Instagram page, where you can see all of his cool clothes. And I realize now it was the anniversary party I was talking to him at, not his grand opening. So it's been open a whole year. That's exciting. So yeah, anyway, I will see you guys next week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and have a great time. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. The podcast is going to be a while, because now I have to edit out all those times I was being ridiculous in the commercial breaks that weren't really commercial breaks. They were technical glitches that were driving me nuts. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Please support my podcast. Become a member. There's like public access radio type thing. You can do all of that over there at Anchor FM. Just look for the E-Spot with Camille. All right, you guys have a wonderful night.
She gon' tell you where she bought it, cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get it, looking exquisite, no competition, stay on a pivot. Who be watching, they be plotting, she so motherfucking independent. Yeah.